Welcome, Libra, to your in-depth weekly astrology overview and zodiac forecast for week commencing the 16th of March for the ascendant, the sun, or the moon. Going to share with you the big themes of the week, then on screen the event chart for you on Monday, always influential as a backdrop. I'll then go through each of the key influences frame by frame to give you a clear picture around relationships, finance, energy, and work. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundell. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to the channel, please do so now. So it's a week when we see a big transition. The sun moving through the sky gets to the end of its journey in Pisces, and ironically, that's celebrated with a powerful new moon. The next day, on Thursday, Mercury goes direct, but also we have the vernal equinox, the start of the Western tropical astrological year. But it's totally unique this year because for you, in your sector of relationships, the sun meets the dreamy Neptune for the first time in 150 years in Aries, and then towards the end of the week is edging towards the stern Saturn. So on the screen, Libra, is your event chart. As ever, we need to be mindful of the two luminaries. The moon is in the very affectionate and bubbly fifth house. For you, your fellow air sign of Aquarius. So that gives you a desire this week, particularly as it's in a broadish but very nice link with your ruler Venus, a desire to make things happen in a constructive way. But just be conscious that the sun, which is coming to the end of its journey in Pisces, although it is going to be moving forwards and forging a tremendous angle to Uranus, just before the sun, we do have the combination of Mars and Mercury in that sixth house. Now, if you're wanting to be really productive as you go into this week, that's good, but the virtue that the sixth house likes has to deal with the watery vibe and therefore the slowing of the thrust of Mars and thoughts of Mercury. So there may be something that is just a little bit frustrating at the start of the week, not least that Black Moon Lilith, which is not on screen. Yes, that is about desire, but in Sagittarius, it desires truth and can be frank. That sixth house energy suggests if you are irritated by something that's not quite working, maybe it is to do with your job, your frustration can be more palpable. But just know, if you think back over the last couple of years, Libra, Saturn was occupying this sixth house and giving you a lot of encouragement to be very disciplined, very dedicated, and very conscientious. But you may not have felt that you got all the rewards you deserved, and that would be understandable. But just know that the sun is forging a tremendous link with Uranus in the first half of this week. And if there is something that you want to do around a practical stream, but do it more efficiently, but also in a more progressive or more imaginative way, the link between Uranus and the sun and then the new moon on Wednesday is very constructive. Now, it could be squeezing a bit more out of your assets. It may be, as far as your job or work is concerned, applying for something that just is more challenging, but more stimulating, but potentially more financially remunerative. And do know that Jupiter, the planet of fortune, is still right at the top of your chart, but now not in retrograde. So professional opportunities can call out to you. But then on Thursday, the sun moves forwards. We have the vernal equinox, but for the first time, as I mentioned, for 150 years, meets Neptune. But for you, the sign of Aries can be about new beginnings, fresh energy, or impetus, but the seventh house is about how we relate. And if there have been some tensions, a brittle atmosphere, or maybe you're trying to get other people to be more responsible for some elements that you've taken on quite a lot for, what the sun can do once it gets past Neptune, which can distort things a bit, but by the end of the week, meeting up with Saturn, it can help you to set your boundary in a very firm and assertive way. But equally, the sun applying to Saturn could make you much more conscious of any relationship which just isn't working very well. But you know, if you do want to make that pitch for that new job, apply for one, do a presentation, have a chat with a line manager. The charming Venus is forging a wonderful square with Jupiter in the second half of this week. And you know, diplomacy and enthusiasm could be your allies. So if there is something you want to do, by expressing an understanding of their needs, classic Libra quality, leaning into their needs, but also nailing how they can improve things practically, could be something that someone you encounter finds absolutely incredibly impressive. So to recap for you personally, Libra, relationships with the moon in your seventh house have a real chance, particularly with that link with the moon at the start of the week. But it could be a professional relationship which shapes up in the second half of this week. However, all that hard work you've put in over the last couple of years can start to get a reward from the middle of this week with the Pisces new moon and its link to Uranus, especially if you've been blending pragmatism with innovation. But then the emphasis switches very much about relationships, and whether it is about professional ones, friendships within the family, or personally, initially Neptune can be a little bit of a dreamy energy, but a real sense of realism is going to be developing over the next couple of years with Saturn's help. So what the combination of the Sun and Saturn can help you to do by the end of this week is get clearer about what you want to give, but also what you don't want, but also what you expect. If you've yet to watch your mid-month deep dive video, please click on the link for that. If you've yet to watch your Jupiter Direct video, please click for that. You can get your free daily horoscope fired to your device each morning. I've written these for years, and it's a great opportunity to have that celestial pit stop each morning just to think about what's going on. Please see below to sign up for that. If you'd like to work with me directly, please see my testimonials below. If you'd like to order your personal horoscopes, the 50% offer is still on. Just apply Astro26 or Draco26 at the checkout below. And they're incredible value, very accurate, totally unique for each person they're produced for, and at a price point that really makes them much more accessible. But the main thing about natal astrology against sun sign astrology, it's totally unique to you. And that's what makes it so gripping. Have a great week. All the best and goodbye.